How's it going, boys? My name is Mark Roden, and welcome to the channel. Alright, now before we get started, I just want to say a few things about my editing and filming. This is my first time doing anything like this, so I promise you guys it will only get better with time. But as of right now, I'm kind of camera shy. My editing skills are not even close to good, and I don't really have that good of a setup. So just bear with me, and I promise I'll get better at it. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Today I'm going over my top 10 JDM cars. Disclaimer, these are all my opinions. It's not really based on facts. I guarantee nobody will agree with me 100% on it, so if you disagree, please tell me in the comments below your top 10 list. So number 10 is a Honda Civic EK versions of them. It doesn't really matter what Honda Civic you like, you know, that it's a Honda Civic. There's nothing else you can say about it. But a lot of people, they hate on them because they're racers, but honestly, if you do them right, they have some pretty clean cars. The Honda Civic EK is a 6th gen Civic, I think it's a 6th gen Civic, and it came with the 1.6 liter B16 dual overhead cams, VTEC, which produced 160 horsepower at 111 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a little economy car. You're getting some good gas mileage and 160 horsepower out of that VTEC. Goodness, dual overhead cams. Dual overhead cams, VTEC. What else could you ask for? So number 9 is the Subaru WRX. Another little disclaimer here. I'm not sure if the GT86 and the FRS came with the same engine, if they were built on the exact same platform, except they have different badges. I'm not sure, so I'm specifically talking about the Subaru WRX. It came with a 2-liter inline-4, which produced 205 horsepower and 156 foot-pounds of torque. Honestly, these cars, a lot of people... Okay, so number 8 is the Mazda Miata, specifically the NA models. NB, I think, is the exact same car as the NA, so it doesn't really matter too much which one you get. But to me, I love the looks of the NA. The main reason is obviously because of those pop-up headlights, but another reason is just because to me, they look a lot better. They look cooler and they look adorable. So anyway, the first gen Miata came with a 1.6 liter inline-4, which only produced 113 horsepower and 99 foot-pounds of torque. That's it, 99 foot-pounds of torque. But it also only weighs 2,094 pounds precisely. Like, once again, these cars aren't going to be fast in a straight line, but around corners they have that 50-50 weight distribution. It's amazing. These things they're little go-karts, and every single owner you see of a Miata never says they hate it. Everybody loves the Miatas when they own them, so give them a shot. Number 7 is, and I don't like myself for saying this, but the Subaru WRX STI, specifically the blob eye year. A lot of people buy Subis where I'm from, because I'm up in New England, and there's a reason for it. They're all-wheel drive, so in the winter, if you need to go pick up your son from school, you still can, but they're also really quick little sedans that can still beat a Honda Civic on a Mexican highway, if you know what I mean. These cars came with a turbocharged inline-4 boxer engine. Looking at my notes here, I wrote these notes down very poorly, so I'm a little confused. Turbocharged inline-4 boxer engine, which was producing 300 horsepower, which is so far fastest. They're quick little cars, and they can look amazing. Honestly, they do. I just see them everywhere up here, so they lost their special touch to me, but they're still a great car. Okay. Number 6. Number 6 is none other than the Nissan Silvia S13. Specifically, to me, the hatchback version, but you can get it in a coupe. I think you can get it in a sedan, actually. I'm not sure, though. The hatch just looks a little bit better, in my opinion. But they came with a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged SR20 DET with 1T engine, producing 202 horsepower and 203 foot-pounds of torque. One more foot-pound of torque than horsepower. Drifty boys, you know that. These cars are notorious for drifting, and they look really good doing it. And they really do. I mean, that's just You can't go to a drift track and not see some dude in an S13 whipping it around. One thing about these though is that since people think that they're such rare JDM legends like the Supra or the GTR, they typically overprice them a lot. Like you'll find one for $10,000 that's rusted out and has 300,000 miles on it, and the caption will say, "No low balls, I know what I got." He doesn't know what he's got. He thinks he knows what he's got. Don't buy that. Just be smart when you're buying one of these cars, and you'll love it. Okay, we are halfway through the list. Number 5. Number 5 is the Mitsubishi Evo. Specifically to me, the 7, 8, and 9 models. The 10, I don't really like it. I don't like the tail lights on it. I also don't even like the headlights on them. In the years before that, unpopular opinion, but once again, I don't really like them. I'm not going to go too into depth with all of them, so I'm just going to go into depth with the 9, because the 9 is the best for performance, and it came with a 2.0 liter turbocharged inline-4 producing 286 horsepower and 289 foot-pounds of torque. I apologize to all the Subi boys out there. Yes, I like Evos better than I like Subis. There's a reason for that though. To me, the Evos they look so much more aggressive than what the Subis look like. I mean, the Subis, they're cool cars, don't get me wrong. They're fun, and they both do pretty much the same thing, but the Evo just does everything that much better, and that's why I like them. Number 4 is the Nissan Skyline GTR R32, the granddaddy of the GTRs. It was dubbed Godzilla, and I honestly don't know why. I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say it's because it's like the king of Japanese sports cars, but I really don't know. But besides that, it came with a 2.6 liter twin turbo inline 6 engine known as the RB26 Det with 2 T's, because 2 turbos. Boom. RB26 Det produced 276 horsepower and 260 foot-pounds of torque, all sitting on top of an all-wheel drive platform. It sounds amazing, and that's because it is. I mean, it was so much ahead of its time when they released this car. That's why they're so legendary, and they really did pave the way for all the GTRs you see out there today. You don't really see these cars in the show scene absolutely slammed to the ground with a lot of camber. You don't really see that because typically when somebody buys one of these, they're expensive and they know that they can handle a lot of power, so they make it a street car specifically. So it is, you can do pretty much anything to it and it'll still look gorgeous though, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, number 3, bronze medal, 3rd place. I am going to make a lot of people angry with this one, but number 3 is the Toyota Supra Mark IV. I'm sorry, I don't think the Toyota Supra is my favorite JDM car. I do love it, and I do admit it can handle a lot of power, and it's a great car. It's a legendary car, but it's just not my favorite. The Mark IV Supra came with a 3.0 liter twin turbo inline 6 producing 320 horsepower, which is the most horsepower on this list, and 315 foot-pounds of torque, and it was called the amazing 2JZ GTE. The 2JZ does not produce 1,000 horsepower from the factory. Get that through your head. It doesn't do it, okay? It produces 320. But if we're looking at the facts here, it can handle 1,000, and it doesn't take much to get there. So that's why they're so legendary. These cars are, and they look so good. They look so good. I mean, the styling was so ahead of its time once again, and they're just beasts. They're beasts. There's a reason why everybody knows about the Supra, even if you're not a car guy. It's because they're a legendary car. Miles for less than $7 grand. I mean, they're great start to getting into the car scene too. Everything about them is just amazing. There's a reason why there's an unbelievably huge cult following for these cars, because they're legendary. Everything about them. But with that being said, there is one car that beats the 350Z. Number 1, my favorite JDM car in the world, probably my favorite car in the world because I'm a JDM guy, has to be none other than the Mazda RX-7 FD 3S. I don't know. Don't ask. Don't ask down in the comments, how is the RX-7 his favorite? I don't know. I just love them. I love them so much. I think they look so sleek. They have a rotary engine, which is wild. I mean, you don't see that anywhere. And they have pop-up headlights and the taillights on these cars, boys. I love them. A lot of people don't like them. I love the taillights on these cars. They look amazing to me. But with that being said, the RX-7 came with a turbocharged 13B rotary engine, producing 238 horsepower. Decent amount. The car sounds amazing just because it has the rotary in it, but it looks the part too. And you can make these cars pretty much just about anything into a Stancy Boy or a track car. I mean, you can make any of these cars into a track car or a Stancy Boy, but this one just looks the best doing it, in my opinion, and they also sound the best. I just love them. I like everything about them, and one day I hope to own one. Let's hope. Alright, well, that's it for the first video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video, and please, if you watch this whole video, just stay tuned for more content, as I will be trying to push out at least 3 videos a week. I don't know how much time it's going to take to edit videos, so I don't know how fast those videos will get to you guys, but I will be trying to push out 3 every week. And if you want to stay up to date on that, follow me on Instagram at, I'll put them in some corner. I'll put ss.markey is my personal, SmoothStance is my business account, where we do car shows, we have merchandise, a lot of fun stuff goes down on SmoothStance, so go follow that. And then add me on Snapchat too, which is where I post most of the time what's going on in my life, which is gonna be over here. It's Giggity, like what Quagmire says, 2800. Yeah, I'll see you later, boys. Thank you everybody for watching to the end of this video. If you did that, drop a comment and say frog. If you watch to the end of this video, say frog and let me know, because I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a good day.